William Hare, you have been found guilty for the murder of William Burke.
Where am I? Who am I? Oh, yes, I remember. I'm William Burke, and I died.
Hang him! Hang him!
Yeah, hang him! Hang him! Hang him!
That's my best friend, William Hare, who they're about to hang. He was not involved in my death. I didn't do it! You have to believe me! Please! For weeks, I've been thinking of ending all of this. I couldn't bear seeing all the posters of missing people and realizing that I've been involved in killing them all. What I've done, or better, what they made me do, was filling my heart with sickness. I was convinced that Helen wanted the best for both of us when she figured out this cruel way to earn us some money. Killing innocent people and delivering them to Knox for profit? Outrageous. I tried to resist the idea, but she used every way possible to make it happen. I didn't want to lose her, so I had to do what she wished. She would use the money to buy herself fancy clothes and jewels. They were making her happy, so that was enough for me, until my own sadness overshadowed her happiness. I was trying to drown my sorrows in drink. One day, I returned home from the pub, and I started arguing with Helen again over something probably unimportant. I couldn't walk straight. I had drunk so many lagers. I felt my shoulders slam into something hard, which turned out to be her wardrobe, and I heard letters fall out from behind. I wouldn't have thought anything of it, but her eyes turned cold when she sold them.
I managed to grab one of the letters and rush outside,
Only to discover that she was sharing romantic conversations with David Patterson, Knox's main assistant. He was the one in charge of receiving the bodies from us and sending them to Knox. How could they have possibly met? Did he use Helen to manipulate me? Yes, it all makes sense to me now. Helen never truly cared about me. All she cared about was money. She was naive enough to fall on this scum's trick. He must have a profit in the share, is what I thought back then. But it couldn't be just that. I ran straight to his personal lab in the university to confront him. Helen ran after me. I burst into the lab and started fighting with him. I drank too much. I still couldn't stand straight. He managed to pin me to the ground with Helen's help, and then he suffocated me with his bare hands. David made sure that Knox wasn't in his lab, and then he and Helen dumped my body on the table there so only Knox would find out. David then asked Helen if she still had on her earring that she showed him the other day. Margaret Hare lost that earring in the lodging house and Helen found it, but never returned it. She thought it would be worth something. Helen then took the earring out of her side pocket and gave it to David, who slipped it under my jacket, probably to turn suspicion somewhere. Then they left the lab, leaving the door open. Hare was delivering a body to the university later that night. He saw the door open, decided to go in, and stumbled across my body lying there. The poor fella. Can you imagine his surprise? It seems that Hare carried on delivering bodies to Knox, not telling any of us because he knew I was upset about the process, so he needed to keep it a secret. He then left the lab, and his next action remained unknown. I couldn't see it back then, but now I understand. The way David Patterson was telling me and Hare after each delivery about how generous he would be if he was in Dr. Knox's shoes. The way he testified against Knox in the courtroom. Of course, the threatening messages and blackmails weren't from Knox. They never had his signature in them. They were sent from David Patterson. He tried to turn me and Hare against Knox. He tried to incriminate Knox with my murder so he could take his position as the head of anatomy lecture in the University of Edinburgh. He executed his final plan by making that anonymous call to the authorities, involving everyone in my death except himself. It all makes sense in the end. I can't believe Helen and David managed to trick us all. We were responsible for our own actions, but the way David manipulated Helen and Helen manipulated me, and I, in turn, dragged my best friend down with me.